Most people believe that progress comes from constant action, more effort, more hustle, more movement. But let me ask you a question. Have you ever noticed that the people who make the biggest mistakes are often the ones who act the fastest? Why is it that some people rush while others wait, and somehow the ones who wait end up winning? Here's a harder question. What if doing nothing is not laziness, but a skill? And what if most people fail at life not because they act too little, but because they act too soon? This video is about that skill, the skill of strategic inaction. And once you understand it, you'll start seeing the world very differently. We are taught from childhood that action equals progress. If you're not doing something, you're wasting time. If you hesitate, you're falling behind. If you pause, someone else will overtake you. But this mindset creates a dangerous habit, reacting instead of thinking. Most people don't choose their actions. They respond to pressure. A message arrives. They reply immediately. A problem appears. They jump into fixing mode. An opportunity shows up. They say yes before understanding the cost. They move fast, but without direction. And speed without direction is not intelligence. It's panic. Let's look at how this works in real life. Imagine two people facing the same problem. One reacts instantly. They speak first. They commit early. They lock themselves into a position. The other pauses. They observe. They let the situation reveal itself. Who has more control? The second person. Not because they're smarter, but because they didn't give away their leverage. Silence creates space, and space creates options. This principle exists everywhere. In negotiations, the first person to speak often loses power. In arguments, the calmer person controls the direction. In investing, the one who waits avoids emotional mistakes. In relationships, the person who doesn't chase blindly sets the terms. Doing nothing is not absence of action. It's delayed action with intention. But here's the problem. Most people are deeply uncomfortable with doing nothing. Silence makes them anxious. Waiting feels like weakness. Pausing feels like losing. Why? Because doing nothing forces you to sit with uncertainty, and most people hate uncertainty. They'd rather take a bad action than sit in discomfort. So they act. They over-explain. They over-promise. They over-commit. They overreact. And later, they wonder why life feels exhausting. Strategic people understand something different. They know that not every moment requires a response. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every emotion needs to be acted on. Not every opportunity needs to be taken. They ask better questions. Is this moment asking for action or awareness? Is moving now helping me or just reducing my anxiety? What happens if I wait? Let's challenge another belief. People think leaders are decisive because they act quickly. In reality, great leaders are decisive because they decide when not to act. They gather information quietly. They let others reveal their intentions. They allow situations to mature. Then, when the moment is right, they act with precision. One move, clear, final. That's not hesitation. That's mastery. Think about chess. Beginners move constantly. They attack without thinking. They chase pieces. Experts wait. They improve position. They create pressure without touching anything. They force the opponent to make mistakes. The board changes even when they don't move aggressively. Life works the same way. Now, let's bring this back to you. How many times have you replied too fast and regretted it? Said yes when you meant no? Made a decision just to stop thinking about it? Acted out of fear of missing out? Those moments were not failures of effort. They were failures of restraint. Doing nothing is not passive. It requires emotional control, confidence, patience, trust in your own judgment. That's why it's rare. Anyone can react. Very type. Here's a simple mental shift you can start using. When something triggers you, a message, a demand, a problem, don't ask, "What should I do?" Ask instead, "Do I need to do anything right now?" Often the answer is no, and that pause alone changes everything. Another example. Imagine someone is pressuring you for an answer. They want a decision, they want commitment, they want certainty. You feel the urge to respond quickly. Instead, you say, "I need time to think." That single sentence puts you back in control. You didn't refuse, you didn't agree, you created space. Space is power. This is why strategic inaction works long-term. It reduces mistakes, it preserves energy, it prevents regret. You stop firefighting your own life. You move from reaction to intention. But let's be honest, this is not easy. Doing nothing feels uncomfortable because it goes against conditioning. People may misinterpret your silence. They may think you're slow. They may think you're unsure. That's the price of control, and it's worth paying. Here's the challenge I want to leave you with. For the next 24 hours, before reacting to anything, pause for 10 seconds. Just 10. No phone, no response, no explanation. Observe what changes. You'll notice fewer unnecessary words, fewer rushed decisions, more clarity, more confidence. Not because you did more, but because you did less, intentionally. Most people believe power comes from action. In reality, power comes from restraint, from knowing when to move and when not to. The world is loud, fast, demanding. Strategic people don't compete in noise. They wait, they watch, they choose. And when they act, it's decisive. If you can master doing nothing at the right moments, you won't feel behind anymore. You'll feel ahead. Because while others are reacting, you're positioning. And positioning decides everything.